Who's ready for some boom, baby? Boom! Right. And shine. Oh, yeah. It's that morning marijuana motivation time. I'm your host with the mostest, Marky Saint. And every morning I'm blessed to be alive. And this morning's no different. Even if the cloud wants to go behind the skies, it's still shining. It's nice little about, 10 degrees, maybe 14. And I'm having a blessed morning. Just got off the phone with my team, and he got a $60 flight from Taiwan straight to the island in Vietnam. I'm like, let's go. Where's the website, bro? And I'm trying to book it, but my card's not working. But for less than $50, I'll be in the island in less than a week, toes in the sand, touching laptops and making my dreams come true. You know, it goes to show you don't have to manipulate for attention. You actually have to do right by yourself and get after it. Saints Addiction, let's go. So, watching these videos, and I watch a lot of them on my YouTube while I'm editing my video in a sec, and trying to guide my team and make things happen. You can hear people talk to themselves like, this man doesn't have, then and only then will I pray over him, and then point to the sky and say, isn't that right, God? And that's not godly. We know we be saying things that we don't mean. I swear I've never been so happier in my life than living on my own. Walk faster. I walk slower than faster. My anxiety level, I don't have to worry about somebody. I'm so fucking happy. But she's literally sitting there like she's at her psychologist, like on a couch, and we have a large amount of coping mechanisms for us to get other people to believe, if as long as we're getting the attention, then we get something out of it than just the lost position or the impossible, trying to make it look like that everything's okay when we're not okay. And this seems to happen. It's like a clarification. We want to clarify our position. We want to speak to the internet. And I hope I don't try. I try not to use it. I try to look at myself as like not a diary, but like, somebody that's trying to preach. I think I'm preaching, but sometimes I'm just talking, and maybe I'm mirroring what I'm actually doing and putting it out there. But the point of manipulation for attention is horrible. I got like 5 emails from my mom. I didn't want to talk to her. And within 5 minutes, I had to hang up on her. I was just like, the narcissism, the I'll never say I'm sorry, and then all the manipulation in the emails just so she can get her point across or get some sort of, hey, listen to me. And I don't know if you got a mom like me, but she's already fake cancer or will email you 5 different times to make sure she can get a hold of you. And are you okay? And I literally said, I'm okay. I have nothing to say. And then she went like, well, I have something to say. So it's not that she wants to know if I'm okay. She wants to talk to me so she can feel okay, right? Like there's a way for all of us to circumvent the situation to get what we want out of it. And this is what we all do. I don't give a fuck who you are. Every human and mammal out there goes and measures things. There's another dad with a daughter, I'm telling you, measures these situations inside themselves and go, am I getting what I want out of it, right? If I get on this boat, do I get the trip? If I go to Vietnam, will I get to meet up with my team? If I do my makeup, will somebody look at me, right? So we were like, I don't care what other people think of me, but we won't go out and make ourselves look stupid, right? Like nobody does that, actually. You don't want your hair to be out of place. You don't want somebody to see a booger on your face. And we don't want that kind of attention. We want only the good kind of attention, right? Who's just like, why don't men approach us? Well, not him. He's just a bartender, or not the security guard at the front, or not the guy that's ugly and approached me and had the balls to say hello to me. I want the perfect guy to say hello to me, and then he can approach me. And I look at these things like, this is not a menu. This is not how it goes. Not everybody gets equal value out of the same situations. You might get what you want out of it, and then sometimes you won't. It's part of life. Life is this type of thing where, most of the time we put some energy in and hopefully equates to energy coming out. Maybe you do a job that doesn't pay well, but hopefully you can pay for your bills. And maybe you sleep with some guy for 7 weeks, but now it's just out of the talking phase and he doesn't want anything serious. Or maybe you said you didn't want anything serious and then now you want something serious. We have a way to manipulate every situation that we want and be like, okay, am I getting out of it what I need out of it? And this is just human nature. I don't care who you are. Everybody knows how to do human math, right? It's not like hoe math or girl math where they just manipulate the numbers and sure, my bills will just magically get paid. This is like the math where we go, am I getting equal pay? Am I equal energy out of this situation? And whatever it is, you'll look at it and go, well, if I get off my ass, then I got to go take a shower, then I got to brush my teeth, then I got to get on the plane, then I got to get on the train, then I can come meet you. If it was not too easy, we'll be like, okay, that's too much energy for me. I quit. I'm not going to start at all. Manipulate the attention and go like, it's not enough for me, right? Like I'll keep manipulating and doing and asking till I get what I need out of it. This is what we all do. We'll just be like, I'm only showing up to work because they give me a paycheck. It's not because I love it so much and everybody's so cool at work. That could happen, but they could also fire you at any moment. They won't give a fuck about you. They'll just roll your dead body out of the way, and you're just gonna have to say, excuse me, I'm sorry, it's not what I thought I was getting out of it. Facts. And that's what we do. We do these things to go like, I can wear whatever I want. Well, no, ma'am, you can't just wear everything you want. You're a mom and you got to be fucking getting yourself at least a little bit more appropriate when you're dropping your kids off. And then she's like, I just dropped off my kids, but now I'm mailing out my panties to earn some money off OnlyFans. I'm sure their kids are proud. And she's like, how these things affect me? I went and got an Airbnb and then they kicked me out because they knew I was on OnlyFans and what kind of pictures I could be taking. I was just there with my kids. I wasn't doing that kind of work, but they kicked me out. And you're like, oh no, there's repercussions, like, okay, I manipulated for the attention because I did something, but I want to point it out to them that, I didn't expect there to be any downfall from having an OnlyFans account. I didn't expect that they would want something if I go on the yacht, and God forbid I say no when I'm with the other Hollywood stars. You know what I'm saying? I was looking at it with like Epstein, and I was trying to research like, who the fuck is this guy? Why would you give power of attorney and all your money to this dude? It took him 18 months to undo that. And the way that he infiltrated everybody and hold something over everybody, and just so they could keep a power position. This is what we do when we manipulate for attention. We want a power position. It was like, sure, I just banged 1,000 dudes, but at least all the eyes are on me. Right? That's what we do. We'll manipulate for attention. Did you really want to sleep with 1,000 guys that day? Probably not. But do you want to be Bonnie Blue? She does. She wants the attention. She wants her name in my mouth and a household name. And then she goes, look, I did something with my life. Now, is this shameful? Of course it is. But guess what? I still got my name in your mouth. And that's what Trump does. He's just like, I'm always going to say something ridiculous so that way I can stay in the news and then everybody has to listen to me. And then I get my narcissism fix. Everybody's getting their fix, whether it's your cigarettes, whether it's your attention, whether it's doing something for money. We're all doing a quick exchange. I call it quick math. It's not hoe math. It's not girl math, but it's human math that we'll look at each other. What's up, bro? Yeah, what's up, man? We'll look at each other and say, is this worth it, right? And if we don't, we'll keep manipulating it like a mammal to get it till we want what we want. Just like a monkey, you're like, I'm going to keep climbing to the tree or go to the other tree with the better fruit over here because this tree doesn't have the good fruit. It's already rotten, but I'm going to go over here, but I'll get the low hanging fruit because if I have to go up higher, then I got to work more for it. And I don't really want to work that much for it. This fruit's just good enough for us. And that's what we do. We'll keep manipulating till we get what we want out of it. And you'll see people, they won't stop. They ain't gonna stop till they get what they want. And I'm just here to tell you that's a very human behavior. It's not like any one person's doing evil or good or holy or not, or sinful. It's not that. It's like we do quick math and we're gonna be like, is it worth the effort? Should I even have gotten naked? Who knows? Well, if it's good sex, you'll be like, hell yeah, I'm glad I fucking started fucking you. If it's horrible, then I'm like, man, I wish I didn't catch another body count. If it doesn't work out, we'll start regretting and be like, I should have never slept with him. Everybody said that stuff before. But hindsight's 2020. You only get to see clearly after you experience something. When you first started off, you had good intention. You made that decision. A lot of us do. Put all our money on black. It hits red. We're like, fuck, I knew I should have gone black. That's regret, and it's only regretful because it didn't hit the number that you wanted. Now, if it had hit, you would have said, yeah, man, that's what I thought. I knew I should have put it all on red. And that's why I put it there in the first place. When it doesn't, it goes, the luck's against me. The gods are against me. It wasn't supposed to go down that way. Maybe. Then again, maybe not. And it's so crafty. All of us, I haven't talked to my mom in almost like 6 months, but she started blowing up my email. Are you all right? Are you all right? Are you all right? How are you? I'm like, lady, I'm fine. I want to talk to you. She finally get on the phone. It didn't even last 5 minutes. It wasn't a sorry. It started into an argument again. And I'm just like, this is why I don't talk to you. I know I'm going to argue with you. So like, just like you go keep doing you. Keep kicking me out of the house. Talking about you're 45. You shouldn't be on the couch. I go on the fucking internet and the girl goes, I just came back from world travel and I'm at my dad's place. So if it was a girl, would it be okay to stay? Is it okay if I'm, at any time I'm a family member? Or do you only going to put me up if I have cancer? You know what I mean? Like, what the fuck, dude? Or how about one of the girls for Reliable Bottles? I said, what's this girl saying? She's in her underwear on the chair and she's going on about Facebook censorship. She's in her underwear going, well, I'm covering up all my naughty parts. She got banned on TikTok. He's like, you're putting up spicy content. This type of shit happens. What's up, DB? I see you. You can't be surprised when you are operating on conditioning. You're literally saying, I'm going to feel good naked. I'm going to cover up my parts, but I want the attention. And now that I got the attention, TikTok shot me down, and now I want more attention. So I'm going to keep doing it on Instagram and bitch about it while I'm half naked in my chair. And I'm just like, what the fuck is going on here? We are clever. All of us are going to do something for a reason. Even when you were a child, my mom used to say, I used to crawl across the bed and I would get the Oreo. She's like, how did you even get over there? Because there was sugar there. You know, there was a cigarette there. There was sex there. I always tell people, my dad used to say, if it was a hot girl across town, you would find a way. And it was so true. Just like I'm thinking now, I'm like, I couldn't climb this building, but if there was a hot girl up, I'd find a way, you know? We find a way to manipulate all the time. Well, you think I'm just coming over here to buy you a drink? No, I'm trying to fucking sleep with you later. It's facts. And we try to ignore the facts and we try to pretend like everything's okay, but that's just not the truth. You know, we don't want to say the truth. And over here at Saints Addiction, I talk about the truth because once I get to the truth, I can see what my motivation is, modus operandi, and why I did what I did. And a lot of people, they're not truthful on their intentions. They just want the outcomes, but not the intentions. And I'm like, there's something there. Why'd you get married? Because I thought I was in love. Why did you go on vacation? Because I wanted to fucking see another site. Why do I keep traveling? Because I can. You know, I've got my team going. I didn't want to go to Vietnam. Look at that beautiful sun. You know, that wasn't my plan, but I have a bigger intention. I want to build my business, touch laptops with my partner, and start getting some income off these websites. That's my manipulation to get the outcome that I want. If you're not being honest about it, then it's just a front. She's talking about, oh, I'll totally love a dude as soon as he puts a rock as big as my eyeball. And you're not trying to be really married. You're not trying to find a soulmate. You're trying to get a fucking yacht named after you. And that's the truth. And if you told the truth to the dude and go like, hey, as long as he gave me a rock and a yacht, I'm okay. And it's just like, no, you don't. You want to be exalted. You want to be on a pedestal. You want to manipulate for finances. How many women are going to I want to get married, but they really just want to eventually drop out a couple years later. I had a buddy. He's a good friend of mine. Marry a girl, live with her, and as soon as she got her green card, she left him. She got what she wanted out of it. Yeah, bro, of course this is weed. This is weed club. Come on now. You know, this is Saints Addiction. We get high every morning. But we don't tell the truth of what we really want. And that's what I would love to do, is just sit with a woman and speak truthful. You really love me, I really love you. And then also all of a sudden it's like, oh, I got childhood issues, or it's not going the way that I want, and the energy's not the same. Then I change. And we're all like that. I don't care who you are. You could do a big favor for a friend, and in the end, not repay that favor. We're talking about my buddy here, and he was like, his sister didn't know how to build a porch. So he built the sister a porch. He's like, just make sure I got beer. So they bought him a case of beer. He started building the porch. He's like, I'm done with that beer. I need some more beer. She's like, I already bought you the beer. So should I not finish the porch? He went and finished the porch, and the guy came out, her husband, who didn't build the porch, came out on the porch and started grilling on his barbecue while he was still working on the porch. They don't see it that way. Or how about my old roommate, when I was trying to buy us some food, he's like, I'm a chef, you know, I'll cook. I was like, cool, I'll buy you fly, I'll buy some food. And he talked shit about the food. Then he cooked the food without me. Then he invited his friend over, and they both ate the lasagna in front of me that I bought. I didn't even eat. I was just like, this is such bullshit. You were talking shit about the fucking food, and now you're eating the food without me. People are like that. Talking to my other friend, when you're a big guy and you can lift heavy things and you got a truck and you're a nice guy, all of a sudden, oh, dude, you're my buddy. Hey, come over. I remember my other friend the other day, we were coming to go see his new apartment. He's like, I got to do something over here. Next thing you know, we go to his old apartment and he wants help to move the couch. And I'm like, I didn't plan on moving the couch. It's raining outside. I got my fucking slides on. I'm slip sliding around. I didn't have any plans to move today, but you thought, hey, here's two dudes. They're my friends. Let's invite them over to my unpacked apartment so they can help me move. That's what's their true intention. So it's like you got to talk about intentionality. You got to talk about manipulation. You got to talk about the reason why you're doing what you're doing. And this is why Saints Addiction was created. That's a fucking spider. Oh, shit. Yep, that's a fucking spider. Let's see. It is. Is it alive? Oh, it is. Oh, shit. There it is. See, try to pretend like he wasn't alive. As soon as you touched him, he fell off the wall. We're so weird like that. We don't be clear of our real reason why we do something, our big enough W, and we'll do things out of habit or out of patterns or out just addictions. It will be like, but that's not what I wanted. It's like, yeah, you did. You wanted to get drunk. You didn't want to remember anything, and now you're fucking getting into DUI accidents, and you're like, that's not what I wanted. It was like kind of not exactly what your intentions were, but you did say you wanted to get blacked out drunk, so now you're blacked out drunk. There's repercussions, and we get so mad that there's some kind of accountability for our actions, that we have to have a real conversation of what we were really going after, and then we're mad that we got what we got because it wasn't the prize that we wanted. Well, every prize has a price, and not everybody wants to pay that price. Nobody wants to pay the price of attention. You made a G today, but you did it in a sleazy way. Tupac lyrics on shirts, baby. You know what I mean? Like, I made up a fuck ton of money, like I'm fucking Scarface, but I give it to my mom, and my mom's a good woman, and he hands her all that money. It's like, is this blood money? Are you handing me blood money? What kind of bad attention comes with that? Sure, you gave me a lot of fucking money, but you're selling cocaine, and Lord knows what's going to happen, and she knew what was going to happen, and eventually her daughter got killed, his sister, and he got killed. So she lost both her babies because they were in the cocaine trade or involved with it. So it's not like everything comes without a cost. We know that it's going to eventually come out of us some sort of way. Like, that's why we say, hey, if I don't go to work today, I don't have a place to stay. If you don't work, you don't eat. And if I don't put any energy into it, then nothing comes out of it. And then we're really shocked that nothing's coming the way that we wanted to, but we didn't put enough energy into it for it to be the way that we wanted it to be. And this is the kind of confusing thing in the human processes, that we look at things and we'd be like, yeah, dude, that would be super dope if it was only just the way that I want it. Life isn't like that. It's not a menu. It doesn't come like you think you're at a menu and you go like, yeah, I said I wanted my steak and I said medium rare, and I keep sending it back because it's not perfect. And then I watched one show where it was like this guy was like trying to act like a food critic. He wasn't. Sent the steak back, sent the steak back, sent the steak back. Finally, they said, come back and make the steak. He made it amazing. And then the other chef was looking at it and he was like, I know why you're fucking saying this. It's not because you're a food critic. It's because you wanted my job. You can make the steak better. So it's like one of those things, right? There's always something behind the scenes, a reason why you did something, and now you're getting the reaction for doing that something. So all of us are very manipulative mammals that will do whatever we need to do to get what we really want out of things. And that's what it's like. That's what my spiritual mentor said it, and he said it best. We all get what we really want. What's up, Luis? I see you, bro. We all get what we really want deep inside. Now, most of us are like, that's not what I really wanted, but in a way it is. I remember saying, it was the guy Elliot, he's a motivational speaker, and he asked the guy to come up on stage and he said, lift up your shirt, and he had his belly. He's like, said, are you okay with that? He's like, no, you're not. And he said, yes, you are, because if you weren't okay with it, you would do something about it. And that's a big shocker for us. We're like, okay, we'll like to bitch, man, my life's not the way that I want it to be. Then do something about it. The one girl, I would like to travel the world. Her friend said, just do it, Nike. And she just still would rather talk about what she would want to do than actually do it. And that's what we do. We as people will find a way to fucking bitch and moan about things and say that that's what we really want, but we won't put any energy or calculation or planning to get that situation done. We'd rather just sit there and bitch about it and go, why is Miss America not knocking on my door offering me a free blowjob? It doesn't work that way. You're actually going to have to put in some effort. Hey, we're all the good men. Have you approached them? Have you ever bought them a drink? Have you ever come over and say, hey, I think you're cute, here's my phone number? Then you got to pick the dude that you wanted. Instead, you want him to hit on you because you think it's sexier or it'll turn you on because he took initiative. No, you want to be chosen by the right guy and it'll be a miracle. And then all of a sudden he's there for you and you're like, yeah, see, I got what I wanted. And it just happened because I wished and I manifested and I wrote in a journal. No, it's intentionality. It's literally saying like, hey, I'm coming over to you because I think you're cute and hey, it might work out. Let me just give you my phone number and I'm interested. No, we don't want to say that we're interested because we want other people to be interested in us. We want the right people to be interested in us. And we just hope that it's the right guy. Come on, approach us. And then the guy approaches you and it's not the right guy. He's too short, doesn't have enough money, or you don't like his career. All of a sudden you're being picky, right? Like they used to say, beggars can't be choosers. That's what I hear all the time. People begging for attention or begging for a husband or begging for a boyfriend, but they're not doing anything for them to show up. It's like, hey, what'd you bring to the table? It was like, I am the table. Well, last I checked, I built a table, came over to you, offered you to sit at my table, and then bought the drinks that are on the table. But you're the table, right? And that's what we do. We like to put it in our situations that I'm the center of attention. As long as people give me the attention, then it's all good. And I'm here to tell you, most of the attention is usually bad. Like if you want to be famous, it's usually because you did something scandalous. And most people don't want to believe it that way. I'm looking at Charlie Sheen now doing a non-alcoholic beer. And it was just like, doesn't this guy have HIV like a minute ago? Right? You know what I mean? And if he wasn't sober, they wouldn't be promoting him. And if he wasn't Charlie Sheen, he wouldn't have that job. And he wouldn't have the attention to bring to the non-alcoholic beer or whatever product that he's pushing. That's what we do. We're on some, I'm fucking Kim Kardashian. I can charge $1 million for a post. Maybe because you have that much attention, it might bleed back over. But if you weren't anybody and nobody gave a fuck, or you weren't controversial enough, like a Kanye West commercial, and you're just like, hey, I'm Kanye, I'm gonna do this quick video, please go to Yeezys.com. You're like, you got enough attention. You drove people to your fucking website and you sold a bunch of fucking shoes. It worked for you. This is like marketing 101. As long as we're curious about it, you know, as long as we get to reflect on it, you know what I mean, and get the eyeballs on it. I mean, attention sells. Sex sells. It gets attention, so therefore it sells. Reliable models. They go to the fucking conventions because a pretty girl gets more attention to the booth than a bunch of dudes. It's just what it is. And it's like, did it sell anything? Maybe not, but at least we got people coming up, and that's all that we wanted, right? We wanted enough people, or it's marketing, right, to actually get somebody to purchase something. But we had to give out a bunch of free ones to a bunch of influencers, and then now we got what we wanted out of it. And that's what ends up happening. I was watching another one where the guy called up and he's like, yeah, you know who my daughter is? She's TikTok famous, and we want this first class flight, and as long as we get it, everything's gonna be all right. And if you don't give it to us, we're gonna fucking burn you on social media. So they actually threatened them. Like, I don't even know you, and you come hit up my company, and if I don't agree to what you want from me, guess what's gonna end up happening? We're gonna burn you. So it's like, damned if I do, damned if I don't. I gotta come out of pocket for a $36,000 private jet just so your daughter can give me a shout out on TikTok. But if I don't do it, you're gonna burn me down on TikTok as well. Who wants to do business with somebody like that? You know, I was talking to the other girl the other day. It was a LinkedIn chick, and she thanked me for the compliment. She's like, I don't model, but you know, why'd you leave that comment? And kept going back and forth with me, and eventually blocked me. And I was just like, you know, these are these things. I was like, I'm not referring shit to you. Like, if this is how you are, imagine what you do with my clients. You know, if I actually wanted to send you somebody, are you gonna block them? Right? Are you going to act a fool and look crazy to them? That's what we're doing. We're looking at examples of the future, right? Like that behavior, even once exhibited, trust them. They are showing you who they really are. They're like, oh, that's not me at all. I'm not like that at all. You know, I'm not celebrating abortions. I was watching this guy go undercover to a Planned Parenthood convention. and they're literally selling tissues and lungs and body parts of babies. And I was just shocked by it, but they didn't know that they were being recorded. They didn't know it was undercover. And this is why it's called an expose. They're exposing these people, laughing at their convention, talking about dead babies and dead baby parts and selling these tissues. And I was just like, this is atrocious. But they had no idea they were under film. Like, this is you showing who you really are. This is kind of like the Charlie Kirk thing, where all of a sudden everybody's like, I'm with Charlie Kirk, and then they go, fuck that dude, I'm glad he died, he was talking too much shit. And then they got fired, and then they're in instant regret, and they go like, no, this doesn't represent the company that I work for. This is just my own personal opinion. It's on my own personal TikTok. And it goes, yeah, but that's how you are, and you don't want to believe it. But like, we were having a conversation here for the Finland girl. She was I don't know, some kind of I don't want to say a parliament ambassador or something like that here in Finland, but she was hanging out with all her friends, getting drunk, and they were singing karaoke. But one of the songs was like about cocaine or something, and they were just all drunk singing, having a good time. She wasn't doing cocaine, but that's not what we want to see from our ambassadors or people that are in power positions. No, we don't want to see them like that, and that's why they hide the Epstein files. You know what I mean? They don't want you to see that Bill Clinton went a couple times without the Secret Service, or that Bill Gates signed a dollar bill and said you were right, or that he fucking sent a personal birthday with a girl birthday letter to President Trump, but Trump's like, I don't know him. We do that. Like, especially in politics, so it'd be like they want to distance themselves from you, erase all the pictures, all the dinners, and even the flight logs, and be like, no, I never went to the island. That's not me. I don't really like to go to places where there's half-naked Russian girls at the party. I would never. And I was just like, this is the truth. They're all doing it. There's a reason why they're in politics, so they can get in a power position, so they can go grope somebody down at the fucking changing room. That's what my buddy told me. He said Bill Clinton came downstairs, went to pick up a dress for Hillary, and he groped the girl that did it. No one was around, so he could get away with it. That's a power position. It's a power move. I saw another cop. He was like looking through some things, and then all of a sudden he reached into the girl's thing and stole some of her panties and put it in his back pocket. He didn't know he was under camera, so he got away with it. But that's the abuse of power, right? To plant drugs at a crime scene, or to steal someone's panties, or to grope someone else's wife and shit. These things end up fucking happening, and you don't want to know that it happens. But this is why we have to police the police, because they're in a power position and nobody's watching. They just assume that the cop wouldn't lie. But we know cops lie. We know that they'll lie about your speed that you're in, or why they pulled you over. And then the one cop that pulled me over when I went to jail, he said that he saw my plate and it didn't match. And I was like, but I was taking a right and you were taking a left, and it was at night, and you're gonna see my plate in reverse through your rear view mirror? Really? Like, you're lying, bro. No, you just had an assumption, pulled me over, dug for more, found my weed, found my mushrooms, and now all of a sudden I'm in trouble. But you didn't ask to search my bag. You know, you didn't have any reason to pull me over in the first place, but that's what we're like, show me your license. And you're trying to show or execute authority over someone and look for something else. Like, if I give anybody's keys right now, give me your keys, and I look in your car, of course I'll find something. A prescription that you weren't supposed to have, the end of a blunt, the paperwork's not right. If we dig enough for anybody, there's something to be seen and found. And this is why I'm saying it's a manipulation for attention, because any way that you want to spin it, I don't care who you are, we're all judgmental. We all like to get some kind of attention, and we all want something out of it. So it's like, you know, if it's enough for us, then we'll do it, right? Well, you know, it was like, you know, hey, I got my freak on. You know what I mean? I was like, I wanted to get my freak on. I wanted to go to the orgy tent at Blue Man Group or Burning Man. So I went, and that's why I went. And then I tried to go, and then of course the whole tent burnt down, and everybody was like, oh no, that's Burning Man sucks. I didn't get what I wanted out of it. And that's what a lot of us are like. We'll be in our situations going like, yeah, bro, as long as I get what I want out of it, I don't fucking care. You know what I mean? I just want to make sure that I get like something out of it, and I'll do it as long as that thing is big enough for me, like a rock as big as my eyeball, or my name on the end of the yacht. Like, I'll do anything, including start loving a man. And that's just not true. You're not going to really love him. You're going to love the attention. That's the manipulation of it. But the actualization of it, that you actually had to love the man and build him up and build his business up so you can be on the yacht. No, that takes too much effort. I'd rather just get somebody to just give me the ring. I'll get the party for the wedding, and my name's on the back of the boat. It takes more than that, you guys. It just takes more than that. And don't forget that other human beings are manipulating the thing too. And that's why they're not just giving away. There it is. There's my connection. So rest assured, you're Marky Saint. It's Saint's Addiction. That's my morning motivation. If you got anything out of this, you already know, like, share, and subscribe below. But as always, peace and love. And Chigaton. That means goodbye, but not forever, and finish. And I will see you on the other side as soon as you like, share, and subscribe. But the other side of your fear, the other side of your excuses, and the other side of the world, because that's where I'll be. Peace. Chigata.